So I didn't take a video while Walt and I were walking around the entire thing because I just wanted an opportunity for him and I to just sort of talk everything through without the video. So I'm taking one after the fact. So this is an old drainage gully. You can see how it wore away the rocks. There's a number of knobs, like Gobbler's Knob. The knobs are the land that's up on a hill like this. The glaciers just left it here, which is the super cool part about all these features of the land. Everything is kind of how the glaciers left it, plus, you know, dinosaurs and comets and all these massive trees, you know, come down, and he leaves the high value trees so that the forest looks like this. Look how the sun can get through all that. And this is what it started like, this dark, where the sun can't get through and everything sort of dies if it's not, because it's not being managed, actively managed, as Walt says. So this is the main thoroughfare that all the trees get dragged down. You can tell because it looks like the road has been swept clean, and it has. It has been by all the branches that come off of those machines up there. You can see them that's the main clearing behind the house for the delimbers. So right back there is the brush pile. That's where all the bramble goes to level out and kind of rot away in the forest, and that'll be gone in 5 years. These are doe tracks. Very cute. Got a little Bambi back here. Let's see, do I know where I'm going? I think I do. I think I remember. So I am walking I'm walking southeast around the center of the property right here. I switched to the Google Maps and on X-Hunt a few times. That's a cool app that shows what property boundaries you're on. You can sort of see another knob rise in the land over there. You probably can't see anything on video, but as you're walking, I don't know if the phone's steady enough, but as you're walking, you can see pieces of, see how it's dark here, but light down there. That's the sort of effect that you can get as you clear and do a select cut on your property. All of this, Walt had a word for all of this. Super rooty tooty, fresh and fruity down here. And apparently if you don't do this, then you have a lot of runoff, and it runs off into the natural wetlands down here. All of that is natural. It's been like that for probably well over a century. And without me asking them, they installed a hard pipe under this and formed a bridge over these wetlands so that the wetlands are protected from runoff, which is nice. So all the little froggies, all the froggies and the babies are happy. It's my first time wearing the muck boots. They're working out pretty well. Not super comfortable, but they're not bad. I learned that trees like this are called a bumper tree. Why? Because they take some bumps. They line the edges with these things so that, well, I don't know. That's what they do. So that these are lower value trees that get whooped as you pass by. I don't know the full reason for it. And just look at this. Let's see. Here's an old tree that is so old. It's turned almost to like dirt. Maybe it's not an old tree. Maybe it's just a lot of mud. I don't know these things. I'm an IT guy, doing the best I can here. So here's some more undisturbed wetlands that Walt went out of his way to mention. That he says, hey, look, we're taking out trees like right here, but hey, look, we're not disturbing any of the wetlands, which is super cool of him. It's a delight. It's a delight to be working with a logger who doesn't have dollar signs in their eyes, but they log a property, so it's a win-win situation. Taking out all the dead stuff, taking out the dead trees, and leaving what will grow and be beautiful and valuable and not invasive. Beech is somewhat invasive out here. This is a cool little. So when a tree grows, this is a dead tree for sure. Yeah, that's all covered with moss. So these are cool formations here, very Tolkien, where the tree began growing over an existing stump, then the stump rotted away, and that leaves maybe a birch. Maybe a birch. You can have a little lunch in there if you want. Put a sandwich. Whatever you'd like to munch on. There's an old tree stump. You can see they've done a select cut up. Branch up here. All up here, it's all thinned out. I feel like logging is a lot like giving a haircut. Sure, you can take all the hair off, but when everything grows back, you kind of look like a crazy person. Here, with a select cut, you're applying intention and science and art, because this is very much an art form. The way that this crew, here's another bumper, the way that this crew operates these machines and thoughtfully puts in trails like this that could, very easily, these will stay trails, and it'll be fun to maintain them for skiing or snowmobiling or whatever. Maybe put in some mountain bike courses back here too. And so here's the Gobbler's Knob right here. Gobble gobble. We'll walk up here. So this is this may be, you see how we have lowland here and rises up around. It's really quite something. This may be the highest point on my property. I remember this in the contour map. I think this was the old ATV trail that we found. This has been here. See the tracks from the skidder that comes up here to just grab everything. These machines are so powerful, it's unbelievable. Well, here's a chopper. Johnny Law checking for pot plants. Here's another super cool tree. I love these as kids. Little animal home down in there. Oh, this is hemlock or birch. Hemlock and birch, I think. So up top here, he's cleared out for me. I took a picture from up here before. It's difficult to see on video, but I'll stand on this stump, which I think is the high point. So we'll go down there in a second. I think that's going to be it's like a little bowl, put in a meadow, we'll talk about that in a second. So anyway, up here, I don't know if you can really sense how far that is. That is a great hill. All of that is all of that is 20, 30 feet below me. That's another 60 feet down. And all the land goes like this, and this knob goes over and down. This is a super cool spot right here. You can see he's really thinned this out nice. I think what I'm going to do is create a vista here. So the young house is right there. There is their field. Let's see if I can show you. That is the young field. If I hold the camera up, you can see that's his grassy knoll there. And so right there would be the house on Ormsby. And I think that this would be a super cool spot for a cabin because it's really on top of everything. We could take out, so we could expand the wetlands down there if we wanted to put in a real pond, or we could leave it be. This would be this hill would be great for sledding and skiing. This video is 11 minutes long so far. I'm gonna cut it off. I'm gonna go down here because I want to show you. Walt also knows how to put in ponds, and I think with this natural low area, let's see if I can remember how to get there. I'm still getting my bearings on my own property. I don't remember what's down there. I didn't remember. I'm going down the west side of the property. Those pink markers on the trees are my west boundary line. This is an old hunter's, not camp, but little so down here is quite something. Sort of naturally flat, except for that little rise there. But all of this is like, I think that this has a ton of potential. Hear me out, as a pond. So I'm walking down. I'm going to look back up to where I just was, just to give you a sense. It's hard on video, but that is, let's see, that is like a 20 degrees walk up. So, hear me out. All the land rises up and around here. Now, I think that all this area down here could be bulldozed out. The process is you first carry away the topsoil. Then under the topsoil is going to be like gravel, like a sand and a small rock mix. And from what I understand, you dig this down, you clear cut it, you dig it all down about 5 to 7 feet. And essentially, the land fills in the water all on its own. And you engineer it so that the pond has an exit so that the water slowly flows. It doesn't just all sit. And then if you want to put like rainbow trout in it or something, you put in a windmill somewhere and you hook it up so the windmill acts as an air pump, and it aerates the water, and the fish help to keep the water clean, and they nibble away. Certain kinds of fish like carp will nibble away the greens and the edges as the edges grow green, and they'll eat the little weeds that are inevitably will spring up. So this may all be water at some point, which I think would be pretty cool. And there's, all sorts of different directions. I think this goes, there's his machine back there. That's where is it? Right there, I think. Yeah, there it is. That's the big, I don't know, there's a word for it, the plucker. Here's a little speed bump for you. Whew. Little glacier rock, been there millions of years, and we'll take it out and make it into a pretty rock pile or something. It's my property line down over there. Continuing to walk south down the western edge. There's little openings like this from time to time, and then I'll select cut in between. Ooh, I wish you had smell-o-vision, because everything smells like Christmas tree back here. A lot of pine. It's really quite remarkable. There's the machine. Big machine. Just goes through and picks up trees. Let's see if I can remember where I am. All right, I'm videotaping, so I'm not referencing my compass. And I didn't bring a little magnetized pin to drop in water, scout style. I'm not sure how effective that would be anyway. So let's see. This is the old logging trail here. Ooh, oh boy. Oh, those will get you. And this is all uncut. Over here you can see how dark it is. This is how everything was before we started. I'm wearing yellow, so anybody with a long gun back here doesn't think they may think I'm a neon Sasquatch, and in which case they will shoot me, because I'm worth a lot of money on TMZ. Here's another little boulder. Look at the colors of lichen and moss on this. Lichen, moss. I think that's two different species of moss right next to each other there. I'm no earth scientist, but that's pretty. Oh, and this is the old prospector's cabin. And by old prospectors, I mean probably local teens who wanted to build an awesome fort in the middle of the woods. And much like many projects by motivated youths who also have homework to do, this one didn't quite get finished. But they had it all planned out. There's still records of them. And there's still old wire. They were American, apparently. I don't know what the wire is for. It's obvious silent trip hazard. But it's quite a pretty area that they picked. As you can see, they began doing, I think that's, chainsaw work. Little gap between the logs. Not all the pure leaf lemon in the world could fill that gap. And the floor timber's little to be desired. They do have the door all mocked up though. Still ready. They designed the steps and the door first. I was thinking ahead. It looks like they were going to include the trees. They're going to include the trees as a part of the cabin. Let's see. Yeah. Well. And we got this tree here, which is not the straightest thing in the world. It's a borderline. That is a dead man, or widowmaker, they call. Big, spiky tree, thousands of pounds, leaning on top of you. That may be why they abandoned this spot. That is now home to Mr. and Mrs. Mushroom. They are doing very well. This is what I can only imagine is an old sleeping bag. I'm looking forward to getting a tetanus shot and bringing that out. Free kindling and a chair for when you get tired and you just want to sit. If you've had a big meal and you're having some gastritis, I would choose another chair, but you can pick that one. And here is the, here's this. Somebody was, Adam was asking for a burn can. The answer is yes, I do have one now. I believe that's murky water down there. I'm not going to put my hand in there. I don't know what that is. Maybe they were saving that for a birdhouse. And I have no interest in whatever mongoose family is living down here. Oh, it looks like just a collection of black widows. Yep. You have to put your arm in there as a ceremonial welcome to the property. Let's see. Okay, now that I'm fully turned about. Okay. Let's see if I take a reading from the sun. Oh, I see a pink ribbon over there. That I think is the eastern edge. So the southern comfort. The southern edge will be here. I want to show you the southern edge. I'm not just walking around randomly. Yeah, they say I should really pack a pistol when I'm alone in the woods like this, and thinking about it, that does make sense. I'd much prefer like a hand cannon, like a Dirty Harry. You feel lucky, punk. I'm gonna feel real comical when I'm face to face with a rabid coyote. Look at these guys. I'm gonna look these up. I was reading an internet program on mushrooms one day. Apparently, there's like a billion kinds of them. Or a lot. I'm just saying billion, because billion's a number bigger than I can imagine. Are these going the right way? Hoping none of this is poison. If it ain't shiny, it's okay for the hiney. I just made that up. You should include that in wilderness survival instruction. Here's a log pile that they're maintaining. There's a little rain coming down, but I think the sun's peeking out. Oh, guano. Here we go. Watch where you step. Well, that just becomes part of the forest. Well, here's an argument that didn't get resolved. Yowza. Look at that. Yee. Don't want to put a lean-to under there, folks. I have such great advice while walking in the woods. I can't imagine what generations will walk away from this video learned. Probably none. Barely know what I'm talking about, and I barely remember biology. I know those are they fungi? Is moss a fungi or is a moss a moss? Here's some more glacier boulders. It's a nice boulder. You can come back here on a boulder walk, actually. Ooh, okay, now here's a trail. Here's an old trail. What direction am I walking? Well, the good part about walking on my property is that you can only go so far before you hit a boundary, and they're all marked pretty well. I seem to remember. Okay, I see a boundary over there, but am I walking west or am I walking south? What did they say? The moss is on the north side of the tree? Yeah, he's been all back here already. Not immediately where I'm walking, but in the distance. That's all you can see. That's all light. Okay, here's markers. So I've just crossed I'm way over the center point on the east side. So those markers are the east side of the property, I think. Well, we'll find out. Apparently I talk like Ronald Reagan when I'm in the woods. You learn all sorts of things about yourself when you walk in the woods. Okay. Oh, so there's a lot of ribbon. When there's a lot of ribbon, that means something. Yes, so this is significant. Ah, and there's the other one. This is a corner. Okay, so this is a corner. So this is someone's property going over here, and this is someone else's property going that way. Okay, we're gonna, maybe I still am on the west side. I don't know. Somebody needs a scout compass. I've got the compass app on my phone, but that's the same phone that I'm filming with. I hope YouTube can compress this using Z-Modem CRC. Here's a 4x. What is that? I can't tell the difference between beech and birch. I think that's birch. It's birch? It's birch. I think that's birch. Look at this rock. This is all natural. We found this rock earlier. And I asked Walt, was that human made? He said, no, that's nature made. It's pretty cool. All right. I remember. Oh, I think I remember walking this now. With Tracy and Richard and Caleb and Chris. I think we all walked this together. And the south end of the property is down here. If we keep walking, so this is the beech with the moss and the disease. The little bumps on the bark is the beech vole, beech something. It's carried by moths. Moths land on the beech tree, and they do that. And all of the beech back here pretty much all have that, and they're all dying, so he's taking them all away. Red cap mushroom. Gonna come back here and record ASMR forest rain videos. Retire on that revenue. Every now and then Caleb will just sprint across the screen wearing some sort of native outfit. Can you say native? I think you can still say native. There's a widowmaker ready to come down. Don't put your tent under there. You want to put your tent somewhere else, son. It almost looks burned. It's just rotted, though. These are the questions you ask. Is that burnt or rotted? Well, no one knows. Is that ants or a deer footprint? Oh, here's another one. Someone's going to be able to tell me. That's a deer footprint. You shouldn't be out in the woods if you can't track your animals. I cannot track animals. I would not do very well if left alone to survive. Okay, so this was the right area. Now, I call this spot the Examiner because just hanging above are these two huge branches stuck in that tree. And they're just sort of hanging here in the air. So what you do is you come right here, and anybody who you need to ask questions to, just sort of jiggle the tree if you think they're lying, and then they tell you the truth. So it's another one of my bright ideas. Ideas in the Woods by Jack Handey. When I see branches stuck in the tree, I wonder if I can examine people under them, because then they'll tell the truth. Look at this. Here's an old shade, spot, shamble, shanty, samsonite. There's a word for a hunter's something. I can't access the memory. Sheath, shath. Looks like humans have been here. Yeah, you can climb up there and think about your life decisions. I guess that's what you do. So we are about at the southwest corner. Southwest corner of my property is just down there, but right here is pretty cool. So all of this, at least on that side, used to be pasture, and you can tell because the land is pretty flat over there. Whereas over here, you have all these dips where trees fell. So this was not pasture, at least not right here, but further up may have been. So this is quite the rock wall. Super cool. It's my property line down there somewhere, and then these pick up. So, and the surveyors were great. They marked everything. So down here, this wall actually does align with the property line. Up over there, my property is a little more east than I thought it was on the west boundary. That's fine. I'm looking forward to when we view this in the future. Decades from now, we'll be like, oh my God, fast forward, it's just a rock pile. So boring. Tinkle, tinkle in the woods. I was thinking it might be cool to clear all this out. You know, going back some distance and having a cabin in the pasture back here, clean up the wall and really make it pretty. Just, you know, look at all of this. It's like a canvas that man made and nature finished. How dark that soil is. Got a lot of topsoil. All of this has been undisturbed for the better part of a century back here. Cool. And this means property corner. So this is the southeast corner. And the wall continues. Probably for quite some way. I am the southeast corner. I'm down deep in the woods because all that's wild and all of that's wild south of here. So this is a pretty remote area. I would not like it if something were to jump up like that stick. me down in my prime. This is some deer attractant remnant. Oh boy. This is something here. Whew. It's a little dark down in here. It's a little Lord of the Rings. Some more deer attractant there. This rain is starting to come down. I might head for the light spot and cut through this area here. This shows up as bright on the video. It is dark in here and wet and mucky. I am sure I am walking over, around, and through hundreds of little animal homes that I have no idea about. If there's one thing I've learned about the forest as the sun goes down, is that it comes alive. There's some free wood bark there. Roof bark. Free roof. Yeah, this is managed land, much brighter. Super cool. There's the prospector's hut. Another good reason to wear muck boots is that you're stepping on a lot of sticks and they snap and whip up and hit your leg. It's nice to have them hit the muck boots. I know from experience, dude, if you know what I mean. Oh, look at these. All these pretty little green plants. All sorts of different species. Oh, happy little forest. So all of this will grow back in like 4 or 5 years. The forest just refills itself. And Walt showed me, I went over to his property and he showed me, because he's cutting my land the same way he cut his own. And it really is remarkable. All of this will be completely filled in. If I don't maintain it, if I don't maintain the roads or the trails. In 5 years or less. This, you can see here the topsoil and the gravel, he calls it. That's this, with all this is sand. So I learned the difference. This is sand, and then topsoil up here, and he calls this gravel. This has, of course, it's not doing it now because I'm filming it, but it has tiny stones in it, so he calls that gravel. Better to build on gravel than sand. Here's some more tracks. Looks like mama deer. Yep, there's plenty of little woo. That was deep. Plenty of little shoots. Plenty of shoots for the deers to nibble. Maybe they'll even start a family back here. If you want to start a family, I can picture a worse place to do it. very peaceful out in the forest in the rain. Where am I going? Do I know where I am? Okay. Let's see, that's the wetlands, that's the trail, but okay. This is the old trail, it's hard packed. Oh, right, that's, no, yeah, no? No. That's not where they put the brush. Let's proceed where yonder Gobbler's Knob breaks. Is that Gobbler's Knob up there? Uncle Eric, is that Gobbler's Knob? Oh, yes. I remember when all of this was trees. Apparently, when I'm 80 years old, I'm going to talk like Jimmy Stewart. All of this was trees. It was like Christmas all the time. And every Sunday, we'd cook up a thick, juicy steak. Ah, this is pond. This is okay. This is the pond area. All of this will be glistening waves lapping ever so gently on the meandering shore. And my cabin will be just up there. Will that cabin be the Hall of Elders? No, that will be a different building. The Hall of Elders shall be elsewhere. Let's go up this way. The Hall of Elders, of course, is where wise people go to take stock of their lives and have discourse about current events, complaining about babysitters, discussing guns and boats, marshmallows, anything that you'll find in a outdoor woodsman's magazine, we'll discuss there. Oh, this was that, so this is the knob going down. Oh, you'll see there's this great sledding hill here. And up this way is, I wonder if there's a droplet on the lens. Well, I'll know in about an hour after this thing processes. So he did cut all the way down the hill. He got that huge machine down there. I don't know how I did it. He's gonna clear all this out for a view of Vista. Not to be confused with the operating system. Now you'll hear me panting as my out-of-shape body continues up the incline toward the Vista. And I think this is where I'm going to end. Back at the Vista. So pretty.